So we've been at Flamengo for just 5 episodes. This is the sixth one. And we've already won the Copa Libertadores, which is kind of the whole reason for me coming to South America in the first place. So this is going to be a transfer special and end of season review. And we probably are going to spend another or a full season at Flamengo to see if we can win the Brazilian First Division. But we could also end up leaving. I really don't know what's going to happen here. Welcome to the video, folks, and this feels a bit of a strange one, to be honest, because we've just won our 6th Copa Libertadores and we finished second in the Brazilian National First Division. We wasn't here for any of the cup competitions or anything like that. So if we have a look at the competition page, there's our lovely Copa Libertadores trophy. I do like that trophy as well, by the way. And like I said, Brazilian Cup and a Brazilian Rio de Janeiro State Championship, we weren't a part of that either. But we did get from around 13th, 14th in the league up to second. And at one point, we weren't actually that far from winning the league. So I think we could have a really good season this season. But I don't really know what I'm going to do by way of player transfers. So I call this a transfer special. I don't know how special in regards to transfers it's actually going to be, because we might not be making many. And the reason why I say that is because we've got a very strong reserve squad and a strong under-20 squad. A couple of 5-star players here, defensive midfielder, an attacking midfielder can play an advanced playmaker role. And I'm going to have a look through this to see who I can bring in. But when you actually look at our squad, we do have quite a large squad, especially if you include our reserves as well. So it might be more of a case of trimming this than bringing too much in. And when I've been looking at scouting reports, there's not a great deal of quality out there. And I just think, what's the point in spending money if we've got the talent within our squad as it is? We might just have a season where we're not going to win the league or win the Copa Libertadores as these players start to develop, and then they come on stronger in another season or two's time. Whether I'm still going to be here, though, is another kettle of fish. Now, we will have a look at the star screen at the job centre page and make sure we've got all of the... I don't know why this resets all the time, but basically, I just want the manager role. Why is nothing working? Click manager, please. Nothing is working. It's decided to stop working. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Right, it's gone back to that again. Right, let's click manager. There you go. We're up and running. We don't want international. We don't want international youth. This is lagging. So what we will then do is we'll start to filter some of these out. So we don't want Austria, Belgium, we don't want Croatia or England or France or Germany or Ireland. I'll tell you what, I'm going to play about with this and I'll come back to you in a second when I've got it all sorted out. Okay, here we are. We've got the clubs left in that we would be looking at in terms of winning Champions Leagues and whatever. So we've got Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, South Africa and Uruguay. In all honesty, we're only really looking at Mexico and Argentina, potentially South Africa, because we do still need to win the African Champions League. But let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got an Argentine Premier Division here with Hurricane, something like that. If we have a look at their reputation, they are a 3.5-star reputation. So they're kind of the club we would look to go to, but they have no continental football. So that kind of would rule them out of us going there. There's no other First Division or Premier Division clubs from Argentina in there yet. We have got a few First Division. I mean, Fluminense are in there. Why not? But no, we'll say where we are. Then we look down. We've got South African Premier Soccer League, Sekhukhune United. No idea who they are or how good they are. They're not in a continental competition, so I have no interest in that. And there's nothing for Mexico. So in all honesty, there's not really a great deal here, or there's not really anything here that I would now look at and say, oh yeah, we'll go for that. But what I will do is I will keep an eye out throughout the season just to see what pops up. And if something too good to turn down pops up, like say Boca Juniors in Argentina, for example, then we will absolutely apply for that job. But otherwise, just to give you the heads up and the pre-warn, as I've said previously, we are most likely going to be here at Flamengo for the season. And I want to make sure we do well here. Now, what I will do is before we get into the rest of the video, I'm going to hand you over to Past Me, who's going to talk you through the end of season review. And here we are for the end of season review. It's got a lovely little trophy on there as well, the Copa Libertadores. And this will probably be a very quick end of season review because we're only here for half the season. And these are the signings we made this season. The only ones that I actually made was Emmanuel Turallo, who's actually picked up our signing of the season, 24-year-old attacking midfielder from Velez for 6 million, 21 appearances, 3 goals, 4 assists at 7.03. I've not been overly a fan of him, to be fair. He's disappointed me a little bit. But George Colombo is also a new signing. The club paid 5.75 million for him. Johan Arcos from Atletico Nacional for 1.4 million. Alexandra Fernandez from Gremio, I presume that is, for 5.75 million. And then Nelson Johansson, who I also bought in for 5.5 million from Racing Club, same club as George Colombo came from. No goals, 2 assists. He's made 8 starts, 11 sub appearances, 6.76, 23-year-old midfielder. They were there to just plug holes, basically. We hope to be able to do better for next season. In terms of the season's results, I mean, all of these, or most of the state championship and the Brazilian Cup was nothing to do with us. The Copa Libertadores, we came in after the group stage, and I think this was where we came in. We had Talares in the first knockout round. We beat them 2-0 on aggregate. Then we had Boca Juniors beating them 4-2 on aggregate. Bragantino was next, beating them 7-2 on aggregate. And then obviously in Friday's episode, you'd have seen Bot when we beat them 3-1. We came second in the league, and yeah, Barria won it 5 points clear as they won their last game of the season. This was absolutely terrible. We came in for the game against Vit, which I believe was this game here. I think we just won this game against CHA 2-1. We then came in against Vit and won 3-1. And where are we? Here we are. Yeah, I'm losing track of things here. So yeah, we beat Vit 3-1. We lost against this team here, SPO. Is that Sao Paulo? I think that's Sao Paulo. And then drew a couple of games, and we also lost against Corinthians and Barria on what was our last league game of the season. So we did lose 3 games. Moments to remember, the biggest win was a 6-1 win against Bragantino in the Copa Libertadores. I was stunned by that. I weren't expecting us to win 6-1, that's for certain. Match to remember, Brazilian National First Division, 3-0 win against Fluminense. That was us again. And the goal of the season was in the Copa Libertadores on the 1st of December against Bot in the final. And it was Pedro's wonderful direct free kick that he scored. The finances, sponsorship is down ever so slightly by about or less than $1 million. Broadcast revenue is down by about 5 million. Corporate and hospitality has gone up slightly. Competition prize money has gone up significantly, presumably because of the Copa Libertadores. That's gone up by like 16 million. And matchday commercial and retail has gone up by a couple of £100,000 as well. 7.96 million made in total merchandise sale. 796,000 of that is from non-domestic. Shirt sales, 51,169 shirts have been sold. Pedro, Renia, Turallo, Danilo and Albarracin getting the majority of the shirt sales. Danilo will not be here, neither will Rena be here next season. They'll both be leaving on a free transfer. Glad Turallo's in there, means it was worth bringing him in. And we are a 4-star continental reputation team. And yeah, that's all there is to say about that one. Our first 11, our first choice 11, I mean, Jose Maria, he's not here. Herrero is no longer here. So yeah, take that as you will. I have no exception with the goalkeeper in the back 4. Cristiano Ronaldo as well there. Heze, yeah, fine with him being there. Pedro and Gandin in their roles, that's fine as well. In terms of the accolades, most goals by a player in a league match, Wellington getting a hat-trick. Got a couple of hat-tricks actually this season. Our 18-year-old young wonder striker. Fans player of the season was Pedro. The young player of the season was Ramiro Mariani. The sign of the season was Turallo, as we know. As we also know, Pedro got goal of the season. Top goal scorer was Valento Gandin with 22 goals. Pedro with the most assists, which was 15. Pedro also with the most player of the match awards, which is 11. Also the highest average rated player at 7.3. And most passes completed per 90 minutes is Andre Luiz with 69. Pedro, a very influential player for us, as you can see. Brazilian National First Division Manager of the Month for September. Pick that up. Nice. I might win Manager. No, I won't win Manager of the Year. I didn't win the league, did I? Then the history in the making, all of this sort of stuff. Copa Libertadores. Flamengo owe their campaign to powering through the middle of the season that really set them on their way. And that was from the Brazilian Football Free Press. There you go. Lovely, lovely end of season review. And we start here with the Flamengo win the Copa Libertadores, which you already know about that anyway. We did get £14.4 million for winning it. I have been hailed a wonder maker. Yep, I quite agree, I am. The board are delighted with me. Pedro was on form. We'll give him his pat on the back. As you can see, this is immediately after the Copa Libertadores. We've got things to be paid out, bonuses and things like that. Custodio has reached a yellow card limit, so he's going to be banned for our next Copa Libertadores game, which will obviously be a league game. So Al Shabab step up chase for Luis Jr. He's one of the players that, I don't know why they're offering me money. I'm pretty certain that he's leaving on a free transfer. Yes, he is. His contract expires very soon. We will go through the players that are going to be leaving. Pedro wins the best player of the Copa Libertadores. We'll put our arm around him and say congratulations. Just click through a few. We've received a bit more money as well. Our end of season review, which we've already seen. Where are they now? I don't really care. If we have a look at the finances, we've got £27.3 million in the bank. We do have a £79.2 million transfer budget with £1.3 million in the wage budget. We're only committed spending will be £946,500. So we are going to have a lot of money to spend. I just don't know if we actually need to spend it, to be quite honest. But yeah, let's have a look at the squad. So this is our squad at the moment, our first team squad. Heze, Nathan, Rainier, Danilo, Otavio all have their contracts expiring. When is it? End of the year, 31st December, so 29 days time. Jonathan and Jonathan Braga, their contracts are not expiring. They're still going to be here for a little while. Jonathan is here until the end of next season, and Braga has got another 3 seasons on top of his, or 2 seasons. So they're both going to be here for a while. Braga, I have no problem seeing if there's a place in the squad for him. He is listed for loan, which I think we will take off for now, because he does look like he's a decent option on the right-hand side for us. And as we can see, if we click on there, he's going to be, as a wing-back, 2.5 stars. He's got the attributes. I love the fact he can cross. He's got really good acceleration, reasonable amount of pace. He's very determined. He's got 1.5 stars of potential that we can hopefully get out of him. So I'm very tempted to keep him along as well. What I'm then going to look at is I'm going to look at players in here. So like Vitor, we probably will keep him because he's a backup goalkeeper. He's fine. He can do the job. Alex Guerrero, we might move on. There's a couple of other players like Carlos Jose. We may move him on as well if we can, that is. At the moment, nobody wants them. And yeah, we've just got a lot of potential in this team. And if the players that are out on the transfer market are not better than what we've already got, then I really don't know who or how we bring anybody in. If we have a look at the schedule, for this is our current season schedule, our season starts on the 14th of January. Wow. Okay, so we've got like a month off between the end of one season and another. That is madness. Let's have a look at this competition. Is there any rules in it I need to know about that we can only play under 18s or something? Because that seems crazy. And at the moment, so the squad must have no more than 7 foreign players. The match squad cannot have more than 5 players on youth contracts. Fine. You get pittance for winning it. No trialists allowed. Matches have VAR, unfortunately. Okay, so there's no special rules on this. You just have the Rio State, whatever it is, and then you have the semi-final and the final. So, right. Okay. I am highly confused by this. So you have a league table with 12 of you in the league. You play each other once, and the top 4 go through to the semi-finals. Last year we did make it through to the semi-finals. So how did we do? Did we get knocked out in the semi-finals? No, we got through to the final. So we got through to the final but lost to Bot because they are a higher seeded team. This is a weird competition. We have won it a few times. I mean, to be fair, it looks like it's just us and Bot that pretty much win it. Vasco da Gama won it like 11 years ago. Fluminense won it a few years or a couple of years after that. And Vasco da Gama there. But other than that, it's basically us and Bot that win this competition. Right, this might be a shorter than usual transfer special because if our season is starting it, I mean, our actual league season doesn't start until the 15th of April. Okay, and the Copa Libertadores group stage starts here. Oh, the season in Brazil is weird. I think we are going to have to treat this as a regular part of the season. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a go on trying to buy some players and I'll bring you back as of when. I'll probably bring you back on the 1st of January after those other players have left. Okay, so it's the 2nd of January. We've let a load of players go, about 7 players, I think it was. We have promoted a couple from the youth team. We've brought up Andre, who plays as a Mazzala in the centre of mid, or he can do. And he can also do the advanced play. So he can do both the roles in that central midfield position that we occupy. He's got 5-star potential. It could be worth sticking with him from the start just to see how he grows within the team. We've also brought up, and oh yeah, it's worth noting as well, Andre is 18 years old. And then Santiago has also come up from our youth team. He's also 18 years old with 3.5 to 4.5 star potential. He can play in the defensive midfield role. We've got him lined up to play the anchor. He's only 1.5 stars in that, but he has been training it last season and he's also still training it now. So basically he could be Cristiano Ronaldo's replacement there. When you look at our squad, we've got a whole abundance of people that can play there. Johan Arcos can also play there. And there's others as well. If we go right down, Jonathan could play there. Yeah, we've got options. I mean, with a 28-man squad, you'd like to think you have got options. We have also offered Luis Jr. a new contract. He signed it. He's here for another 2 seasons, this season and next season. He was on £69,000 a week. He's now gone up to £85,000 a week. I mean, he's 34 years old. I would like to get a replacement for him. But when you look at our scouting, we even had at one point a recruitment focus solely for goalkeepers, and it's produced nothing. We are really struggling to get anyone of any decency. I mean, I'm trying to filter this by goalkeepers, and at the moment, all it's given us is this guy, Brian. I mean, I don't have confidence in someone called Brian. He's no better than what we've got. He's just a decade younger. But yeah, I've been looking around myself as well, and just honestly, there is hardly anything around. And I didn't know it was going to be so hard to sign players for teams in Brazil, but we have made one signing, and he's going to be arriving as soon as from Arsenal. It's Mutu Abraham. He's a midfielder. He can play the advanced playmaker and Mazzala role as well. 22 years old. Potential to be 3.5 to 4.5, maybe 5-star potential. He's only going to cost us £2 million. He's come in as an option basically, and yeah, it's not really very exciting at the moment, I have to admit. I think we have our schedule. Yeah, we do have our schedule. So we've got all our Rio State games starting here on the 12th of January. So we get started on that in like 10 days' time. This is going to be a very short transfer special because I guess we do play the Rio State Championship games. I don't really know how to do this. By the time we get there, I may have just played a few games off camera and bring you up to speed afterwards to let you know how we got on. But yeah, we've got the Rio State, which I'm assuming this is a group. Oh yes, the league. We've already been through this once, haven't we? So yeah, as this is just teams that are in the Rio State, obviously, I don't think it's really that important. I mean, we've got Fluminense in there. We've got Botafogo in there. Vasco da Gama is our first game in there. in terms of their league season, we start off with Vasco da Gama and Atletico Mineiro, and then Gremio after that. So that's our start to the season. We've also got the Brazilian Cup, third round, first and second legs in there. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing about this Rio State at the moment. We may play it, we may not, but well, on camera that is. But in terms of my actual team, I don't think it's going to be a great deal of difference. I really don't. I look at what's available on the transfer market. Again, we go back into here. We've filtered this by A's, and there's not a great deal out there that is better than what, like this guy here, 2-star current ability, 4 to 4.5 star potential. They're going to want upwards of the 2.2 million, maybe even around 3 million, and he's not any better than what we've already got. Even potential wise, we've got better in our development centre. When you look at this guy here, Glauber, who can play in the defensive midfield role, he's only 2.5 star for anchor. Again, he's not really a great deal, if any, better than what we already have. Mariano Maldonado can play out on the right as a winger and an inverted winger. He looks pretty decent. Inside forward, he's not better than Pedro. Let's be honest. What I have also done as well, by the way, is I've sent out some scout reports for Sota Sato. I thought it'd be worth checking him out, seeing what he's like, potentially even bringing him in. I mean, he's 16.5 to 20 million pound. He's very much on the expensive side, and he is 26 years old now as well. This is telling us he could be a decent option as an inside forward for us. I think we always played him as a winger when we had him at Tokyo. But yeah, he's done his spell at Tokyo. He's hardly played for Arsenal. He's been with Sassuolo, 75 appearances, 10 goals in that time. And he's been there for, 4 years? So he's having the time of his life at the moment. I doubt we're going to sign him. But you never know. If I don't end up spending my money on anyone, why not bring him back? But yeah, I'll see you again in about 10 days' time, where it could actually be the end of the episode without actually any signings. So we've got our season expectations come through. All they want me to do with the first division is qualify for the Copa Libertadores through the group or through the league. That's basically finished top 6 in the league. I think that's more than fine. The Brazilian Rio de Janeiro State Championship, however, they want us to win that. I mean, it is only favoured, but they do want us to win it. And the Brazilian Cup, reach the quarter-final, is preferred. The required part is the Copa Libertadores. So I don't think anything's going to happen if we don't win the Rio de Janeiro State Championship. So what I think I might do is I'll carry on playing through the games off camera. If we get through the league stage, then we'll do the semi-final and the final on camera as tomorrow's episode or something. But yeah, I don't think they want much. Still no players signed. Still can't find anyone, but I'll keep on trying. Okay, so the transfer window has just opened the 11th of January. It closes in March. We have got another new sign as well. Mutu Abraham, the 22-year-old midfielder, as a backup option we got from Arsenal. He has been confirmed now. Happy to have signed such a good player. Has the potential to be a key player for the club. We've also brought in Miguel Angelo for 14.75 million on £39,000 a week from Bragantino, I believe it was. Let's have a look at him. They're happy with him. If we have a look at him, yeah, he was previously from Bragantino. Looks a very good option on the left-hand side. We have Albarracin out there at the moment. He does look like a very good option. If we go to our tactics screen here, we'll find Mutu Abraham has come in and he's already got an injury. He's out for one more day. But if we put him in instead of Albarracin, there's no drop-off in standard there. So Albarracin will have a fight for his place. Jefferson, it also means he gets knocked down. So there is a potential that if someone wants to come in for Jefferson, we may sell him. But he is only 20 years old. I'd probably opt to keep him and sell Albarracin, who's a foreigner at the club. 28 years old. He's heading towards 30. He could be the one that ends up leaving. But yeah, looking at it at the moment, we do have Miguel Angelo at least as a new option. Andre that we've not seen from last season either. So there's a couple of news. So there is one more hopefully on the way. Marcelo Goulart he's definitely from Bragantino. I need to check where the other guy's from. He's right-sided midfielder, inside forward, 3.5 stars, really good option, 20 years old, got really good pace and acceleration. I like the look of him. He really is a good player. He's a star player for Bragantino at the moment. But yeah, he will be coming in for us, hopefully, for 10 million, rising to 20 million. If we have a look at the transfer history, yeah, it is Bragantino. So we've raided Bragantino basically and bought 2 of their players into our club. So that 10 raising to 20, that will take the total spend so far for this window up to 36 million, whatever they class it as. And really, the window has just started. So even though we've got the whole of the Rio State Championship to play, the transfer window closes just after the Copa Libertadores starts and before the league season begins. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. And I'll let you know when we've got more, and I'll give you updates on the Rio State Championship as well. So we've just got to the end of our first game against Vasco da Gama, and we were not particularly good. We were quite terrible, in fact. We went 1-0 down for a penalty from Shilton Pereira in the 31st minute. Then in the 58th minute, I made 3 changes. I brought off Wellington, Miguel Angelo and Marcelo Goulart, 2 of our new signings. Brought on Pedro, Albarracin and Gandin. Pedro was on like a 6.2 at one point because he'd missed a penalty somewhere along all of this as well. There you go, in the 66th minute. But in the 62nd minute, literally like 3 minutes after I made the triple change, Albarracin equalised for us. Then Pedro missed the penalty. Then they went 2-1 up. And I really thought we were going to lose our first game. But Nelson Johansson coming on as a substitute for Andre, getting the goal in the 91st minute to make it 2-2. So, yeah, that was a very poor start to the season. When you look at our fitness levels, obviously we've had no pre-season friendlies or anything like that. It does look like we are very much struggling for fitness. So hopefully playing against Audax Rio, who lost their first game 1-0, they're currently bottom and going to get... I don't know how you get relegated in a Rio de Janeiro. How many teams are in Rio de Janeiro? I'm aware it's a massive area, but that just seems ridiculous. But yeah, we play them next, and we probably do need to pick up a win if we're going to qualify for the semi-finals of this tournament. But yeah, not the most promising of starts. Hopefully things do improve. So I've just seen this on my social feed, that a tycoon is eyeing taking over AS Monaco. The Athletic is reporting that a mystery foreign tycoon is looking to complete a buyout of the club and invest large sums of money in new players and facilities. Do you think Monaco would take me back? Okay, I've brought you back here. We're playing the game almost at the end of the game against Audax Rio, and it looks like we're playing on water. Or we're not playing on water, but basically we're in a little island and we're surrounded by water. And I love the little tent over here. This is something new that I've not really seen before. And you've got little steps that go up here to the tiny little stand they've got. I mean, there's not many people that can fit into this ground. We are having an attack at the moment. We might even score from this. We don't. It's 2-0. It's been a pretty easy game. But yeah, it looks a very unique ground, a very small pitch as well, it has to be said. And I actually really like the look of this stadium. So well done Sports Interactive, because this is not something I've seen before. And there you go, Andre, youngster, has got his first ever goal for the club as well. So everything's going really rather well. We're winning 3-0. I like this. So here's something we've not seen before, a Copa Libertadores group stage draw. So we'll have a look at that, see what that looks like. Hopefully it doesn't go on forever. So there's 5 pots. We are in pot 1. Is there any other teams in pot 1? So by the looks of it, we are the only team in pot 1. Is that because we won it? Potentially. So Group A, I mean, yeah, we've been drawn there. So we're not going to find out who we're playing against just yet. Colo Colo in Group B, by the way. They are a team that I have previously looked at potentially managing. They're in Argentina. So if we do end up in Argentina at some point, Colo Colo are definitely a team that I would be quite interested in. Right, let's get into Group C. Corinthians. We'll just get through these. Bragantino, Bari, I think Internacional came up. Belgrano, Newell's Old Boys, I think they're called. Right, we're back to Group A. So we get a team from pot 4, which is River Plate, I think that is. Yeah, Club Atletico River Plate of Colombia. then we get through these other groups as well. Just for me, I just saw Liverpool and I was like, what are Liverpool doing in this competition? But they are in Group F, Liverpool FC. I mean, it still don't tell you that it's not the Liverpool, but I'm assuming it's not the Liverpool. Newell's Old Boys get, I forget which one. They're not. Are they Sao Paulo? No, Palmeiras. There you go. Right, in Group, another team from Pot 4. I mean, there's Barcelona in there. I think it feels a bit like it's cheating. We've got Cutalica, Quito. Yeah. Deportivo. Yeah, all of that. Right, let's get on with the rest of the draw till we get back to our group. And we now get someone from Pot 5. So we've got 2 teams from Pot 4 and a team from Pot 5. We don't get any teams from Pot 2 or 3. Is that just giving us an easy draw? We have the winner of the third qualifying round, game 3. Okay, so we don't actually know who that is, but I'm assuming it's someone not particularly good. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Copa Libertadores group stage draw. We have got River. Oh, is that Argentina? Colombia? I'm sure it's Argentina. Oh, it's because he's Colombian. Yes, it's River. I was going to say, I thought River Plate were an Argentinian team. So we've got River Plate of Argentina. That will be a tough game. Then Catalica of Colombia, and then winner of the third qualifying round, game 3. So at least we kind of know what our group stage draw will look like. I mean, what is the Recopa? I mean, they're just making up competitions at this point. The South American Recopa. It's 2 legs, us against Corinthians. I don't know what they've had to do to qualify for it, I'll be quite honest. They must have won a cup competition or something like that. I mean, let's have a look at the Brazilian Cup. Did they win this? Nope. They didn't win the Cup. Did they win the Scuda Americana? Let's have a look at that one. Yes, they did. Okay, there you go. We got to the bottom of that. I mean, you guys probably knew all that. But yeah, it's us against the winners of the Copa Scuda Americana, us against Corinthians. That is on our schedule for here. 2 weeks between the 2 games. I mean, we're probably not going to show that because I'm planning on playing all the way through this. And then the Brazilian Cup third round and Vasco da Gama at the Maracanã in the first division will probably be the first 2 games of the new season. In terms of transfer news, Augusto Valporto could be, I don't know what accent that was. He's 25 years old with Internacional. He's a right back and a very decent right back at that as well. He's got some really good physicals about him. He can get a cross in, he can mark, he can do a bit of passing, he can tackle a little bit as well. He's got really good concentration and anticipation. His composure could do with some work. But he's 3.5 stars as a wing back on support, or 3 stars rather. And I look at him and he's already better than Custodio and Alex Guerrera that we've got at the moment. So yeah, to me, that's an improvement. And we're looking at him coming in for 18 million, rising potentially to 21 million. But I'll let you know more about that when he's actually signed and confirmed. And a day or 2 later, there he is, confirmed, £18 million, £3 million bonus upon winning the Brazilian Cup. Very decent player. He's going to be on, where's his salary? £58,000 a week. He signed a 4-year contract with us as a star player. Let's pop him into our squad straight away because we know we want him in there. Where's he gone? Here he is. Let's pop him in there. And then Custodio can come on in place of Guerrera on the bench. And yeah, we've now got what? A right back, 2 central midfielders, 2 wide players. I mean, these 2 are from our academy, but yeah, I'm pretty reasonably pleased with that. What I do need to do, oh, he's away on international duty. I was about to say I was going to bring him in here for somebody. We have also had an offer in for this guy, Jonathan. I think it's about £3 million that the offer's gone in for. He's not going to really feature for us. We've got other players for that position. And yeah, we've had that offer come in. I mean, there's been 2 offers in actual fact. One of them we rejected. CEC we've accepted, 2.5 million raised into 3.5 million. And hopefully that will get a bit of money coming into the club. In terms of transfer budget, we've got £28.3 million left in the transfer budget. I mean, we've got loads left in the wage budget. and our bank balance is getting very low now. It's on 11 million. Not sure why it's plummeting like that, but it is. Right, forward I go, and there'll be an update again soon. Okay, so basically, I think I finally got my head around this Brazilian Rio de Janeiro state championship competition. So basically, us, Fluminense, Vasco da Gama and Botafogo, we're the 4 teams that are in the Brazilian first division. The rest of the teams, I think MAD are in the 3rd division. No, they're in the 4th. One of these teams, anyway, are from the 3rd division. There you go. VRE are from the 3rd division. The rest of them are also all from the 4th division. So it is kind of like a pre-season friendly, and then it kind of gets serious once you get to the semi-final and the final stage. If we actually have a look at our schedule, you can see that obviously we played Vasco da Gama first up, one of the big teams, drew 2-2. We have then won all of our other games. We beat Audax Rio 3-0, America RJ 5-0, Botafogo 4-1. That was actually a big game because they went 1-0 up. We then pulled it back to 1-1 4 minutes later. We then had Colombo sent off right after half time, but we then went on to win by scoring 3 more goals with 10 men. That was a terrific performance. Then Portuguese, we won 4-1. Boa Vista of Rio de Janeiro, we beat 5-0. Corinthians, we then played in the Recopa final first leg and a 1-1 draw in that game. We went 1-0 down, but then we got an equaliser through Pedro to make it 1-1. We've just played VRE of the 3rd division. We've beat them 3-0. Next up is going to be Fluminense, and then we've got the second leg against Corinthians in the Recopa final second leg. And I'm actually going to bring you them 2 games tomorrow, just so that it's a game against one of the best teams. They're actually second in the little table thing. And you also get to see the second leg of the Recopa against Corinthians. Can we win our first trophy of the season? What we will then do on Wednesday, we will come back for the Brazilian Cup 3rd round against whoever we're playing, and then the first league game of the season against Vasco da Gama. And in terms of the Copa Libertadores, I mean, it's not even on here at the moment, so I don't know what's happening with that one. Are we up here anywhere? Here we go. Copa Libertadores. Have we got our actual draw yet? I don't believe we have, because there's still, we still got to wait to see who we find out who is in our group with us. I got there in the end. But yeah, this is how we are at the moment. In terms of transfers, not really a great deal to bring you. Jonathan went for 2.8 for 3.3 million. We've had a few loans have happened. We've got, £40,000 in loan fees. Augusto Valporto confirmed his transfer, 18 million rising to 21 million. He is here as our first choice right back. And if we have a look at where are we? At this here, in terms, we've been playing a lot of our reserve team players, or our backup players, I should say. Valentino Gandin and Emmanuel Turallo are our top goal scorers with 4 goals apiece. Turallo has the highest average rating. Aberrachin and Mariani both have 3 assists each to lead that. Luis Jr. has our most pass completion at the moment. And George Colombo's a naughty boy because he got sent off. So that's really all there is to bring you on what has been, for me anyway, a very confusing transfer special. I did also have a look at Sota Sato to see if I could bring him back to the club. It would cost us around 20 million. We've got the money in the bank. We've got 31 million to spend and plenty of money in the wage budget. As it turns out, you don't want to know. I spoke to his agent. His agent said, no, he ain't interested, Damo. So that dream will have to live for another day. What I think we will do, actually, while we think about it, we'll have a look at Monaco and Dortmund, see how they're getting on. So Monaco 3rd in League 1, I should say, not League 1. Where's their thing? Here it is, the League 1 Uber Eats. They're 3rd at Nice on top of that table. I mean, they look like they're a bit off the pace there in terms of PSG and Nice being above them, but they are 3rd. Stéphane Rousseau, highest average rating player. We know about him. I did see something about Rustignoli going to Manchester City for about 88 million. In terms of Monaco's transfer business, let's have a look at what they've done there recently. I'm not sure why that was saying no, but in terms of what season was this, the 35-36, so this is the current one. I don't know what the other one was. I mean, they sold £159 million worth of players. Is there anybody on here that I mean, Rafael Ricci came in after we left. He's now gone to Man City. Man City seem to like taking their pick of these players. Hugo Barricino has gone to Chelsea for 16 million, rising to 19.75 million. Guevara Reed has gone to Leicester for 43, rising to 55. That is all we know from that one. In terms of the previous season, do we know Sivertson went to Sevilla for 25, rising to 33. Puxtas also to Sevilla for 13, rising to 17. Xavier Billy, one of our youngsters, went on loan to Tours. That's about all there is. So, yeah. Oh, they signed one of our players. They signed Liazino for £13.5 million. There you go. Right, let's have a look at Dortmund and see how they are doing. Dortmund. They are second in the Bundesliga at the moment. Pep Guardiola is their manager, by the way. They are 4 points behind Bayern Munich. I mean, it's kind of just gone back to what it was by the looks of it. We've dominated for 4 years and then we've left. I mean, they do have a game in hand. So if they win the game in hand, they'll only be 1 point behind Bayern. So maybe they do have it in them. In terms of their transfer history, this is what that's a wrong season. Let's go forward. So here we go. They've brought in Savioli, Bruno, Rezatar. I think maybe we knew about that when we checked before. Fontes we knew went. Baumgartner. Aladdin Sahin did go to Manchester City. Freitas has also left for Liverpool for 40.5 million. So there you go. There's your update on Borussia Dortmund and Monaco. What we'll do is the end of this season with Flamengo. We'll have another check-in, just see how they got on, how they finished, all that sort of stuff. In the meantime, that brings an end to the transfer special. Sorry there wasn't much more going on, but, you know, we did do, wrong one again, we did do a little bit of business. We brought in 4 players. We spent 55 million. And I think we're looking pretty decent for this season. So join me tomorrow for Corinthians in the Rio State thing. And no, they're not in the Rio. That's Fluminense. Join me tomorrow for Corinthians in the Recopa final second leg. Let's see if we can win a trophy. And Rio State game against Fluminense. And that will be tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Bye-bye.